Imagine a world where we could control hurricanes, stop tornadoes, and even choose when it rains. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie, right? But what if we could actually control the weather? The movie GEOSTORM explores this intriguing possibility, showing us a future where powerful satellites manage our planet's climate. But is this just a Hollywood fantasy, or could we one day truly harness the power of the skies? In GEOSTORM, a network of satellites circles Earth, acting like a giant thermostat for our planet. Need to stop a hurricane from forming? Just point a satellite at it and fire a beam of energy. Want to bring rain to a drought-stricken region? No problem, the satellites can handle it. This technology seems like a dream come true, protecting us from the worst that nature can throw our way. But as with many things in Hollywood, the reality is far more complicated. While the idea of controlling the weather is exciting, the science behind GEOSTORM is more fiction than fact. While we've gotten pretty good at predicting the weather, actually controlling it is a whole different ballgame. The idea of using satellites to shoot down storms or create rain clouds might make for a thrilling action movie, but it's not something we can do in real life. The atmosphere is incredibly complex and constantly changing, making it nearly impossible to manipulate in a precise and predictable way. Think of it like trying to control a billion butterflies flapping their wings. Even a small change in one part of the atmosphere can have huge and unpredictable effects elsewhere. So while GEOSTORM might be fun to watch, it's important to remember that it's not a realistic portrayal of what we can currently do with weather control. A chilling blast from the past. Weather warfare. The dream of controlling the weather isn't new. For centuries, humans have been fascinated by the idea of harnessing the power of nature. From ancient rain dances to modern cloud seeding, the quest to influence weather patterns has been a constant in human history. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union poured resources into researching ways to weaponize the weather. This period saw an unprecedented surge in scientific endeavors aimed at understanding and manipulating atmospheric conditions. Imagine using storms to disrupt enemy communications, or even flooding their supply lines with torrential rain. The potential military applications were vast and terrifying. The idea was to create chaos and confusion, giving one side a strategic advantage without ever firing a shot. These projects, with names like Project Storm Fury and Project Popeye, aim to give one side an advantage in the event of a conflict. Project Storm Fury focused on hurricane modification, while Project Popeye aimed to extend the monsoon season over enemy territories, turning the weather into a formidable weapon of war. While these attempts to control the weather had limited success, they highlighted the immense challenges and potential dangers of trying to manipulate such a complex system. The atmosphere is a delicate balance of forces, and even small changes can have unpredictable and far-reaching consequences. The ethical implications of using weather as a weapon also sparked serious debate, leading to international treaties that now prohibit such activities. The Environmental Modification Convention, signed in 1977, was a direct response to these concerns, aiming to prevent the military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques. Today, the legacy of these early experiments lives on in the form of advanced weather research and monitoring technologies. While the focus has shifted from weaponization to understanding and mitigating the impacts of climate change, the dream of controlling the weather continues to captivate the human imagination. As we look to the future, the lessons of the past remind us of the power and unpredictability of nature. Weather, in all its forms, remains a force to be respected and understood, not controlled or weaponized. The butterfly effect, why weather control is so tricky. One of the biggest hurdles to controlling the weather is the interconnected nature of our planet's atmosphere. Even a seemingly small change in one location can have ripple effects that travel across the globe. This concept, known as the butterfly effect, means that trying to control one aspect of the weather could unintentionally trigger a chain reaction with unforeseen consequences. Imagine trying to steer a giant ship with a tiny rudder. The atmosphere is like that ship, constantly moving and changing, and even our most powerful technologies are like that small rudder, unable to exert much control over its course. Geoengineering, a risky gamble with the planet. While controlling the weather like in GEOSTORM remains a fantasy, scientists are exploring ways to influence the climate on a larger scale. This isn't about creating perfect weather on demand, but rather about mitigating the severe impacts of climate change that threaten our planet. This field, known as geoengineering, involves large-scale interventions aimed at counteracting the effects of climate change. The idea is to develop technologies that can either cool the planet or remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere. Some proposals involve reflecting sunlight away from Earth to cool the planet. This could be achieved through methods like deploying giant mirrors in space or injecting aerosols into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight. Other strategies focus on removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Techniques such as carbon capture and storage, or enhancing natural carbon sinks like forests and oceans, are being explored. However, geoengineering is a controversial topic. The potential benefits are weighed against significant risks and ethical concerns. Critics argue that it's a risky gamble with potentially devastating, unintended consequences. The complexity of Earth's climate systems means that even small interventions could have far-reaching and unpredictable effects. What if we disrupt the delicate balance of our planet's systems even further? The interconnectedness of ecosystems means that changes in one area could cascade into others, potentially causing more harm than good. What if these technologies fall into the wrong hands? The potential for misuse or weaponization of geoengineering technologies is a serious concern, raising questions about global governance and security. These are questions that require careful consideration before we start tinkering with the Earth's thermostat on such a massive scale. The stakes are incredibly high, and the decisions we make today could shape the future of our planet for generations to come. The best solution: turning down the heat. While the idea of controlling the weather might be tempting, the reality is that it's far beyond our current capabilities. The technology required to manipulate weather patterns on a global scale is not only incredibly complex but also fraught with potential risks and unintended consequences. And even if we could control the weather, the ethical and environmental implications are staggering. Imagine the power dynamics and geopolitical tensions that could arise from one nation having the ability to alter weather patterns. The potential for misuse and the unforeseen impacts on ecosystems and human communities make this a highly controversial and dangerous path. Instead of trying to play God with the planet, perhaps we should focus on a more practical and sustainable solution, reducing our impact on the climate in the first place. This means taking actionable steps to lower greenhouse gas emissions and promote environmental stewardship. By transitioning to cleaner energy sources, reducing our carbon footprint, and adopting more sustainable lifestyles, we can make a significant difference. Simple actions like using public transportation, recycling, and supporting renewable energy initiatives can collectively have a profound impact. And protecting our planet's natural systems, we can ensure the health and resilience of our ecosystems. Preserving rainforests, coral reefs, and wetlands is crucial as they play a vital role in regulating the Earth's climate and supporting biodiversity. We can mitigate the effects of climate change without resorting to risky and potentially dangerous geoengineering schemes. Sustainable farming practices, reforestation projects, and conservation efforts are all part of a holistic approach to climate action. While it might not be as exciting as launching satellites to control hurricanes, it's a far more responsible and effective approach to ensuring a healthy and livable planet for generations to come. By fostering a culture of sustainability and environmental responsibility, we can create a future where both people and the planet thrive. The choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow, and it's up to us to turn down the heat and pave the way for a brighter, greener future.